everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Kathy at Attic Treasures, etc. And as you can see, I have my Drama Queen journal cover that I started making several months ago. I started out with this fabric that I didn't like very much, and I kind of challenged myself to do a nail it or fail it. And here is the finished product. I put some vintage lace on it, this fun tassel, and this button right here. So obviously whatever goes inside here is going to have to be on a hidden spine, and that's okay. I don't mind. I use this kind of ruffled black lace and this jeweled buckle that I got at Joann Fabrics. And what I would like to do with this is, it just seems very dramatic to me, and so I wanted to give it sort of a drama theme, and that's why I'm calling it the Drama Queen. So I would like to have at least 3 signatures in this, one based on dance, one on opera, and one on the theater, just, you know, random theatrical type stuff. And inside I have these pieces of wallpaper that I haven't exactly decided which ones I'm going to use for signature covers, but I just loved the patterns in all of these, and they just seemed very dramatic, kind of in an Art Deco way. So I'll use at least 3 of these for signature covers, and just not sure exactly which ones I want to use yet. But one of the things that I wanted to start off with is I was looking through this book that I got at a thrift store. A little bit of a glare, but it's called At This Theater, and I saw it sitting there, and I knew that I was going to do something sort of in a theatrical theme with this journal, so I picked it up. And inside there's so many opportunities for ephemera inside this journal. Like there are a bunch of program reproductions and theater logos, I guess you want to call them. There's some beautiful illustrations that I can cut out and use. So just lots of really cool looking photographs and ephemera, and you know, that would make perfect journal cards, like some of these theater covers that they use for the theater's programs. I really like this one here. So anyway, so there's going to be a lot from this book that is going to end up in this journal. So a few days ago, I made this paper doll, and I did a video on how I made her, which I will link at the end. And I want to have this in the journal as a pocket, and that's why I initially attached her to vellum. And as I was looking through the wallpaper, trying to find, you know, different signature covers, I found this one with this beautiful peacock on it, and I thought, oh, this would be perfect for a signature center. So my idea here is to have this as a pocket on one side, and then it'll, you know, this is going to be open up to the center of a signature, and then have a pocket here, and have the back collaged with like music sheet. And so what I brought here is some vintage music sheet and some wrapping paper, and then I have some collage paper from Tim Holtz. So I just thought I would get started doing something with this and have a start on doing this journal, which has been sitting here wanting to be done for a long time. So I'm going to turn the camera off for just a second, and I'm going to go run this through my Xyron so I have some adhesive attached to the back of this in a nice even way, so that I can start collaging on it. So I'll be right back. So I thought I would go ahead and bring the Xyron over here in case you've never seen one, and I have several sizes. This is the 9-inch one, and then I also have like a 5.5-inch one, and this is a little 1.5-inch Create sticker. So they come in different sizes, and I have found them very useful over the years. I have had this one for many years. I can't even remember when I got it, but I started using it years ago when I was doing a lot of scrapbooking. And you just wind it through and turn the handle, and it's pretty low tech. But the neat thing with these creative stations is that you can get different kinds of cartridges, including things like magnets and removable adhesive and different things like that. Okay, so when I pull this off of here, when I pull it out, it will have a nice even coat of adhesive on the bottom. The only thing is that you have to be kind of careful when you're working with vintage paper, because the paper is fragile and it can have a tendency to separate, like right there. Maybe use a glue stick on that part if I need to. And that doesn't happen normally, it's just because this paper is so old. There. The reason I like the Xyron is because you end up with no bubbles. And now I can just cut off the excess. Obviously another option would be a glue stick, especially with paper like this because it's so thin. I wouldn't want to use art glitter glue or Fabri-Tac because I think it would just be really bubbly if you did that. And the glue stick, the Scotch Create glue stick, won't warp the paper. Okay, now one other thing that I wanted to do is to add some of this wrapping paper on here, just for a little bit of added interest. Okay, so I put the wrapping paper through the Xyron as well, and I'm just gonna attach this on here. Trim the excess. Okay, and I've got some Mod Podge here that I'm going to put over that music sheet and wallpaper. Before I do that, I want to make sure that I have my papers cut so that I know what I'm going to put on here. And these work better if you tear them. And you have sort of an organic edge. So these are Tim Holtz collage papers. This one is called Floral. I really like it. I've used this one a lot. Okay, well, we'll give that a go. See how it looks. So I just put some wax paper under here just to kind of protect my mat. Anyway, I don't know if you've ever used the Tim Holtz collage paper before, but I really like it. And I like the collage medium better than Mod Podge, but it's kind of expensive and I'm out of the big jar of it right now. So Mod Podge it is, and that's fine. Mod Podge is good too. And I think I want to put a bird on here somewhere too. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera off for a minute and give this a dry with my heat tool, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I like this so far, but I have a couple of other pieces that I want to cut out and collage onto here. So I'm going to start with these three gals. I thought they'd be kind of cool over on this side. I'm just going to fussy cut them out. I've seen a lot of questions in some of the Facebook groups about, you know, what kind of scissors does everybody use to fussy cut with? Well, as you can see, I don't get real fancy. These are just some regular scissors I got at Dollar Tree. I start out not cutting as much as I will end up cutting, just because you can take away, but you can't add once you cut. So start with a big section and then keep cutting away until you end up with what you want. And I find that especially true and useful with flowers, groups of flowers. We'll put that there for now because I want to cut this lady out too. I'm not sure where they'll go. I kind of wish her dress was in color. Oh my goodness. I'm going to use my X-Acto knife to cut out some of these open areas. So this is what I mean about starting big and then kind of refining. I don't think she really needs all this ribbon right here. So I'm going to cut that section off and then just leave this little bit of ribbon and the horn that she's blowing, whatever kind of horn that is. It looks like the kind used in heralding, heralding an event. And it looks good on, as artwork, but kind of hard to get that kind of detail in fussy cutting. There. And I think she looks just as good. And I like being able to see the paper behind as well. So what I'd like to do now is to cut a thumb hole. I'm going to measure the center. I'm going to sew around all these edges, and then I will finish decoupaging on the girls and then put the pocket on the other side. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've gotten it all sewn around. I think this this lovely actress needs to be exactly right here. Okay, because I want this to be fast, I'm going to use this little this little Xyron. I can get both of these in here, I think. Sometimes I just don't have the patience for gluing, and then I pull out my Xyron. Okay, so that is this side. Now on this side, I don't want to do anything to that peacock unless it involves giving it some bling. But I want this to be a pocket. So I am going to use, I have this little bottle of Collage medium, and I really like it for this type of work, especially since it's vellum. I'm going to put a thin bead all the way around the 3 edges. Making such a big mess on my desk. Hasn't had that big of a mess since I cleaned it up really well. So I haven't ever used these before. They've been in my stash for a long time, and they're just little jewels. So I thought I would just sort of disperse them here and around different places and see how that works. This little flower gem I thought I would put on her dress. And then I was looking at one of these for the eye of the peacock to give it a little bit of dimension. And then I was also wondering about putting some of this gold rickrack around this pocket. Okay, now as I work in this journal some more, I might end up putting a vellum pocket on this side as well, just because I like the see-through aspect of the vellum, like you can do right here. And I don't want to really cover up the coloring of the peacock, because I just think it goes so well with the with this paper doll that I put over here. And then on the other side, this will end up being a journal card that I put in there. And I just love the way this has turned out. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm necessarily 100% done with this project, but it is done for right now. And I'll know as I go through working with the journal and adding elements here and there to see if I want to add anything else. So anyway, thank you for crafting with me today. I really appreciate the fact that you're here and that you've tuned into my channel. So I hope you enjoyed this and maybe got some ideas. And I hope you'll give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and let the serendipity find you, because this is what happens when you do. And happy crafting, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye-bye.